Hello everyone, how good of you to join. Welcome back to yet another Humankind Let's Play. In my last Victor OpenDev Let's Play, I focused a bit too much on military stuff. So in this Let's Play, I want to focus on wealth and money and trading and economy stuff in Humankind and how far we can push those meters. So that means that we're probably going to go for the Venetians or up to the Venetians, starting with the Phoenicians. And yeah, we'll just see where this one brings us. The limit of 150 turns is still counting, and we just see how far we get. Once again, we are starting with a small hunting party here. So there's really nothing else to it in the nomadic age, and we need to, well, discover a few things around us. There is our first discovery, some nuts, and yeah, those nuts are really not doing that much to us. There is also a deer that we could hunt, so let's do this one right away. And yeah, we're not focusing too much on battle in this Let's Play as I did that in the last episode, or in the last Let's Play. So we're going with instant resolve, get the deer, and have our first five influence bonus points that we do need for, well, founding our first own settlement. That we have it now, so we can now choose, or we can now start with it. I would like to see, wait, first of all, we do have lots of food and production here. We would have even more of these, but it doesn't really matter because we have the districts going over there then anyway, right? The industry districts up there, the food districts down there, and then of course, we definitely need to focus on the harbor as well, as we are playing as the Phoenicians. Let's just found the first outpost right here because I like this location there in the middle of it. And boom, our first city, or our first outpost has been created. And as we can see, we do get some fields around us. Now with my, well, scouts, we can then continue ahead with going to the next interesting points. Over there is something, so we are really bound or forced to get over there. And whoa, we actually got something, a new unit. Right away over there, there is something for research and science that I can see, so that might be a nice new outpost for those thingies. What I can see is it's already in the next territory, right? Let's get over there to the north. So it's, I think, the same map. Yep, it's the same map. Oh, some 5 influence points. Thank you very much for that. The next outpost would cost us 20 though, so we can't go for that too quickly. Let's continue into this northern realm here, and beautiful terrain that we have as always. Ending another turn, we should now be seeing the completion, there it is, of our first outpost. We're still in the Neolithic age, or in the nomadic age as I like to call it, with our nomadic tribes. We haven't really done anything yet. Oh, and we have achieved something, the Mount Roraima. We have, well, discovered with 50 fame points we do get out of that one here. This beautiful monument or landmark that we see there. Having an outpost close to that might make our people very happy. Another site here that is interesting, gives me some influence and some science points. With a sheer cliffs and a plateau often hidden by low-hanging clouds, the peak inspires awe to those in its foothills. This beauty there. We haven't discovered any other units yet as far as I can see. Alrighty, population gain. We have gotten our first population here in this outpost. We could, of course, go for more tribesmen that I can use for scouting, but I think we just wait and go for more population then. Wild berries, some food, and as we can see, this is pushing us to the next or the third unit then that we can recruit here, right? So if we find some food on the way, we can make our scouts a bit better there overall. Now turn 8 it is. We're still growing here in the outpost of Iklil, as it's called right now. And over here we discovered the first, we encountered the first mammoth. And we might actually attack it. We have the upper hand on this one. I will probably use a unit though, but we also will get some influence points by defeating that mammoth there. A mammoth is really, really intimidating first on. We could also just scout ahead and perhaps come back to it later. With only 5 more food, we could get the third unit, and this will make the fight much better for us. As we continue scouting the western side. Oh, it's actually following us. Huh. Let's attack it. And yep, as expected, we lost one. Oh, actually, we did not. We did not lose any unit. Oh, yeah, we lost the unit. Okay. But at the same time, got 20 food and 20 influence. And that means that we replenished 1 full unit right away. So we are where we were at the start of that. Very good. And we have enough influence now to, well, we could afford another outpost, right? And we should probably do that. Probably to the northern side here. There's also an event, a wall of flame in the distance, a thin cord of smoke cuts up into clear blue skies. Fire! Calling a few tribesmen, you run closer, the smell of cindered bark and running, a burning pine growing stronger with each footfall. You spy dancing flames and suddenly find yourself on the edge of a settlement on fire. And youths are, we see youths, shadow figures running away from the fire. They could become part of your tribe if you give chase now. Let's chase them. With them, we get them. Very good. Because we still need now, I think, yeah, one more population to gain the era star that we need in order to advance to the next era. And we got a new unit, which is always a nice thing, right? My new army, they can go up here now. Getting some food from the wild berries, and with my other units I can now continue down here, right? So we do have now 2 scouting units. That makes it very, very easy and fast, of course, to scout ahead here. I think this one still has some points, yep, because there is a science center over there, and there's a sanctuary that we could, of course, ransack if we want to. Let's just have a look at that. Ransacking this one would give me 20 food. Let's do that. Takes a turn now. Oh, and we have found, what have we found over here? Some additional fame. Oh, we are really not pushing ahead here right now. I would like to go for the next outpost. We are going to do this over there though, right? Oh, and there is also something appearing again. So those deposits there randomly appear from time to time. Ransacking is successful. We have gained a new unit, so we are at 3 now for the hunting party, and we have gotten another era star. And with that, I think we should be able now... No, we have the first one. We still need a bit of research, and we still need to hunt more one more unit. The mammoth there is not going to do it though for us. With that strong unit now, I can continue. And there we have it. We have found the science points that we needed and thus have now advanced. And we can now choose our first culture. And as I said, I would like to focus a bit on, well, economy and money this time around. The Phoenicians are really strong for that, as they get me 2 coin money per adjacent coastal water, 2 money per adjacent lake, and 1 trader slot on the city, and replaces the harbor. Replaces the harbor. And we get a ship that we can use. Now, the other option that we would have is the Babylonians, as they are also focusing on food and science, and with science we can get the money technologies faster. At least that's my idea behind it. But let's go for the Phoenicians. There we have them. We are, well, taking over their traditional garb, I guess, and also modify all constructible buyout costs by -20%, which is also really powerful later on.
The challenges of a young civilization. It's hard keeping up with the neighbors when they have the wheel and you don't. Humankind learns quickly that everyone contributes. If you're terrified of wild animals, you can grow lentils or catch fish. Tribes settle towns. Towns develop markets, and markets begin the exchange of goods, services, and most important, rumors and hearsay.
Our little introduction. And we're leaving the nomadic age and go to the ancient age as the Phoenicians. That also means, oh, that mammoth is really, well, angry at us. That means that our city becomes now, well, a certain kind of, city. We can create the city, and it has its art style around it, right? Has a little fence around it, looks really cute, and we should be going for our first units then, the scouts, because I definitely want to scout even faster. Up here we have discovered the next ruins, so let's continue. I would still really like to find my next outpost. We should be a bit more quick about that. And we can choose our first research. The calendar, domestication, carpentry, and city defense. The carpentry gives us the archer, that's very good for defense, and the lumber yard that boosts my industry per forest and woodland. And since we have lots of forest and woodlands around the city, I would like to go for the carpentry first. Only takes us a couple of turns. There is another scouting unit from one of my AI opponents, and off it goes again. Let's continue on this very beautiful tile there. Okay, we got 43 influence. We should actually be able to get a couple of outposts running now. So there is one, right? This one here we could have with some nice boosts. It will probably be an outpost to my main city, Byblos as it's called right now. And there we have the next outpost founded in a very good location here with lots of food and industry bonus around it, especially also from that mountain. Takes me now 2 turns before we can do anything with that. Meanwhile, my hunting party can continue scouting to the west. And my other hunting party, how much do we need? 70 influence now for the next outpost. I mean, city in that case here. So we're definitely going to have another city. Let's continue. My opponents also choose their cultures. And we continue now scouting into that fog here. And yep, there is already someone coming up. We can see that on the color. So the yellow color is a new opponent. So we are bordering now to the opponents. And Lake Bakail has been unlocked or has been found by one of the others. Now I have another scout here. This scout though I would like to keep in my city as a defense, because there can always be now units like this one coming in and ransacking my village if I don't have any units there. Very important to do that. In Byblos though we can continue with our first district. Let's just see, we have 13 food and 9 industry. I would like to go for my first industry point. And up here, of course, is pretty good. So 7 industry, thanks to the adjacent mountain tiles that we have. Let's build this one, and then we can continue with the industry tiles up here. And of course, they always give bonuses to adjacent industry tiles then as well. What we can see here, or maker quarters, as they're called. And the other thing would be the farmers. But for the farmers, I've got the farmland to the east of the city. Down here, let's just have a look. We might find their settlement and ransack them if we are brave enough. Let's continue there. There is something, nomadic tribe. Doesn't look so strong, to be honest. We might ransack this one there. This little settlement there. It's still only an outpost for now. Oh, and they see that and probably move back now. Yeah, this is a bit too dangerous for me. I certainly don't want to lose my units there. But we have, yeah, discovered everything else. There is still more tiles over there that I could go for. And, settle. We have around 48 influence. The 70 we still need. Also, we have gotten the merchant trade with the Phoenicians. Doubles the gains of money when selling resources, halves the cost of money when buying resources, and any resource you buy via trade can be repurchased by other empires. Also unlocks us the action forward trade that modifies all the resources money cost by 50% when buying a resource. Alright, and 2 times the money is generated for every trade route. There we also get the first treaty from the Nubians. Okay, so these are all our direct neighbors. And I would also like to go with a bit more diplomacy this time around, right? Last time we just crushed everyone, or tried to crush them. And this time I would like to try to go a bit more diplomacy and only trade luxuries. Sounds good for now, but of course we can enhance our relationship then. Also, we have found the Harappans. Those guys there. I have no idea yet where they are though. Ah, they're down here, way to the south. Alright, they're even southernmost. Oh, the southernmost empire, I think. This one, we could... city creation, wait a second. This one becomes now an outpost. 30 influence, right? We can still, yeah, we can still get some population out of this one now. Let's continue. There must be something. There's a mammoth that we can kill. It gives us some influence. And boy, we do need influence for now. And Empire Foundation. By what right do we rule? We got our first civic point that we can now choose. So once again, to specialize and go into, well, our culture, natural right or divine mandate. I would like to go by natural right because this gives me the 5 influence bonus per turn, which is really good. And that is something I definitely want to have. There's the mammoth. Let's attack it and destroy it right away. This should give me something, hopefully. 20 coin. I was hoping for a bit of fame there or influence. But it's not possible, it seems. We're really far to the west now. I don't think we should. Let's continue. There's a sanctuary. Very good. We can ransack that and get some bonuses out of it. We also have these scouts. Let's actually go up there, right? I'm not expecting any attack there from my fellows there. Those guys here, the Nubians. And we've also finished our first maker's quarters. So those here. And that, as we can see, we have boosted our industry quite a bit. We're at 2 out of 9 population right now. That's the first one. If I build the next one now, as we can see, it's getting actually boosted, and this time would produce +9 industry thanks to the adjacent industry tile. What we can do though, I would like to also focus a bit on growth. So that means we do have, or we should have a farmer district in its surrounding, and up here we have +6 on the farming, and then we could boost those farmers even further. So 1 farmer over there. And we might actually, here I can still not do anything, right? It's still growing in 4 turns to the next population. And we now have then enough influence points to get the next outpost going. The carpentry has been researched. With that we get the archers and we get the lumberyard that I need for my industry boosting. Next up would be the, calendar right away. With the calendar we do get the granary, that's more food, and most importantly the artisan quarters that give me money per adjacent market quarter, plus also we can then exploit the luxury strategic resources, luxury resources that we have on the map. Yes, very good. We get 10 coin out of this sanctuary there if we ransack it. And money is power after all. With money we can more quickly finish the construction. At the moment we can't even afford to finish the farmers' quarters with that. Blades of the Empire, as your horizon widens, your armies grow in lockstep with your ambitions. Now with military power spread over several regiments, it is time to decide the nature of the soldiers. Not now, we don't have enough civic points, so I'm not going down this route. Alright, we continue scouting. We are reaching the end of the border for this territory there. Going with the next outpost. This only costs me 20. And this one costs me 70. Oh, because this one is closer? Yes, alright. This one is further away from my core territory, right? So if we want to go with another outpost, which we should be doing at some point now, then we do need... Yeah, I would actually like to go with this location there once again. So that's 7 food. We get the food out of it and we get some industry points. Quite a lot of them too. And the next outpost in this little corner here. Alrighty, the Olmecs, the bear, they want to only trade luxuries with us. That's a nice step up from forbid new trade. And we do now have 2 outposts running for us, plus enough influence so we can now continue expansion faster. Ransacked that sanctuary there. Let's go back again. I mean, it's already really tempting to just, you know, crush now the outposts of the enemies, because we have a good hunting party here, and they certainly have a weak outpost somewhere in this territory because it belongs to them. So we could just do that and get us a nice bonus there, but actually I wanted to focus on the trade. My new grievance. What?
Greetings.
The Nubians attacked one of your armies. Demand 100. Okay, we can do that. So we now have something here. And they have... Oh, the Nubians has gained renown as a merchant. I don't know why, because they didn't pay for that. They are actually attacking. And... Okay, we can do this. They are much weaker. We actually won this one. We lost a unit though. Nothing else. But why did they attack when they were so much weaker? No idea. Oh! Nah, we're not in their territory. So I've got really no idea why they attacked us now. And Byblos has gained a new population. Very good. Our main city is growing, continuing to grow. And we finish our farmers' quarters soon. And the calendar has been researched. With that, the artisan quarters. Very good. For the next research though, the next tier is just costing too much. So we continue down this road here. City defense is something that I would like to go. I would like to play defensively this time, as I said. And that's pretty important. We could, yeah, probably kill the mammoth there, but certainly at a loss of another unit. And I certainly don't want to risk that. And we have finished the farmers' quarters in Byblos. That means that we're boosting our food output now quite significantly too. And we already produce quite some nice money there. The artisan quarters, we could have 2 of them because we have 2 luxury or strategic resources. Ebony gives me some stability bonus. We have enough stability for now. And the sage also gives me stability. So both of them I don't really need, but I think they give me money. Yep, +1 coin, +2 industry, and +1 coin. Let's go for that.
Follow me.
And as we can see, there we are at the border of the next empire. So nothing I can do here without declaring war. We have 80 influence. That means I can now go for my next city, most likely. Up here is a good location there. It doesn't have so much industry though. Do I have a better location? There is some research. This one looks the best. It gives me some industry and it gives me the access closer to that monument there as well. Plus the ocean is not too far away, right? So if I go for that city, we do have then the Southern Ocean and the Northern Ocean in our control, and we could have then harbors in both of them later. Let's go for this tile here, as it gives me a nice growth, and growth means more population that can also work on market quotas and stuff like that. So this one here, very good. And the next we could attach now this one once we have the 30 influence, and that we should reach soon. And over here we also have this outpost there. Now it's a question, how much do we, attach to the city itself? Let's continue. The next territory would be here. How much would it cost us? 90 influence now. I guess it becomes cheaper if we have a direct city or attachment right next to it. Beautiful. Really beautiful map overall. Up here in the north, we are under attack once again, and unfortunately, I think this time we're going to lose it. Yep, there we lost a unit. We are deep in the enemy territory, more or less. We could also have now a grievance and ask for reparation there, but not what I'm going to do. Now, about the attachment, we have 40 influence. I could attach now something, and actually, this one here should become a big city. So this one could be an attachment to that big city up there. And this outpost becomes an attachment now to the capital. That basically means that we now merge the stats of this outpost there with my city and make it thus bigger and more powerful as well. There we have done it. So this one is now part of Byblos. Very good. And with that we also get the cultural conversion on this territory, which will be achieved in 3 turns, right? And as we can see, this is now one big territory here as we merged it. Now, with my units to the north and west, we continue scouting a bit. There's still something empty here that I would like to get, right? But it definitely costs us 90 influence. That's not so bad. And there's also another interesting point. Let's continue. We are finishing the artisan quarters now, and we are pretty good on the money now. So 21, 23 coin now per turn, thanks to also finishing the artisan quarters, which boosts my money and my industry there once again. We're at 43 industry now for Byblos, our capital. We could go for another artisan quarters. I would like to go for a bit more growth though, right? So the granary might be a good idea. As with more food, we can grow faster. We could also have another farm now, or field. This one gives me a +5 there if I build it on the sage though. Nah, let's actually go with the granary that gives me +2 food per farmer. Yeah, now that I think about it, it's only +2 food really. I don't have another farmer. An archer. Let's go for the archer because we want to have some self-defense in the city at least. Very good, the mammoth moved, so we can now scout and see what's here. 10 coin, thank you very much. As we continue with my other 2 units once again. These interesting points appear from time to time, so it's always worth it to just scout already where you also have been, right? So that's pretty good. We can now create our religion. 10 influence on holy sites. Let's go for the polytheism once again. We have gotten another era star. So the era stars, once again, we need to reach, I think 7 stars. Yep. To reach the next era. We got our first star for this era. Now, of course, my outpost, we cannot create cities with them just yet because that would cost me even more influence. But what we can do is we can already use the tech that we have unlocked, the artisan quarters, to exploit the resources that we have in these territories. And the first one would be here, the salt right away. And the salt gives me a nice boost to industry once again and +1 money. And money is always a good idea. Over here we do have the horses, and over there we have sage, which gives me some stability bonus, coin and food there once again. So it's also a good idea to just go down this route. My scouts, let's continue. Oh no, this is enemy territory. The Nubians.
Off we go. Let's go.
Oh, and we are already also in their outpost territory. We can still walk around while this one is being created, the outpost, but we should get out of it once it finishes. And very good, we also got the first archers. Let's have them stationed in the city itself for some defense.
Yes, sir.
Ah, and there is another interesting point. Also, something is happening in Byblos. First of all, we can go for the obelisk of the gods. Gives me a nice stability bonus and faith. It's really... takes 10 turns though. Could also use that for something else. I'd rather go for the lumberyard. That gives me more industry once again. So we can boost that even further and keep us off the creed. Oh, I think this is now the... Yep. What kind of people should serve the religion or have something to say? Men, women, or all of them? All of them gives me a nice research bonus there. Women only gives me something for more traditionalists and tradition, and the men as well. Let's go for all. Even though this is historically probably not correct. Byblos gained another unit or another population, and we have unlocked the city defense as our next tag. Let's go for domestication. This unlocks us the horses, and horses we do have quite a few, so we can use them. And in Byblos, this is still working. The artisan quarters are still being... Yep, what we could do here now is we could finish it instantly and get some nice coin out of it, right? Lumberyard, though that takes quite some time. For this one up here, though, I would like to purchase that. Let's do it. Artisan quarters we have finished right away. Oh, and that one here gave me a new unit. So we can merge them once again. And have 2 units now working for us here as well. Very good. So far so good. We're still in the early ages, but money is already flowing in. That's very good, and we only want to boost that from here now. Stay tuned.